World you are, whichever medium you're looking on or listening to, appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning is the start of a brand new week. This is Classic 105.5, 105.9, Hot 98.5, 98.7, GBN TV, channel 7, 11, and 20. The folks joining us on the GBN television Facebook page, those of you logged on to the website, www.gbn.gd, and of course the folks watching on the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Good morning to each and every one of you. How was the weekend? Hope everybody had a blessed, restful, peaceful, productive weekend. And today, the 13th of July 2020, you're ready to get another week off and running. Those of you that are joining us for the first time, happy that you're a part of the family now. Those of you who are accustomed tuning in, happy that you remain a part of the family. We appreciate your listenership, your viewership, your participation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big up all your whole selves on this fantastic Monday. No. Marvelous Monday. Good morning to all the folks joining us across the Caribbean. Those of you in Trinidad and Tobago, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Antigua, Anguilla, Dominica, Barbados, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, Bermuda, St. Kitts, Nevis, U.S. Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands, Tortola, Guadeloupe, Martinique. Those of you, our South American brothers and sisters in Venezuela and Suriname. Those of you in Guyana, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao. Sure, 98% sure I get everybody this morning. And I think so. Good morning to all the folks joining us internationally, whichever part of the world you are, the UK, the US, Switzerland, Sweden, Canada, Germany, Australia, the People's Republic of China, whichever part of the world you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. That should capture everybody now. Good morning. All right, let's do this. Here on Good Morning Grenada, we start the day with a word of the day. Ensure we get a little bit of education as we start the day. And the word of the day on this marvelous Monday, bellicose. Bellicose. B-E-L-L-I-C-O-S-E. Bellicose. It's an adjective which means inclined or eager to fight, aggressively hostile, or belligerent. Bellicose. It comes directly from the Latin word which means warlike or fond of war, ultimately from the noun which is war or warfare, and the adjective suffix which means full of or abounding in. The source via Anglo-French and Old French of the English suffixes. The usual classical form bellum comes from pre-classical duellum, which remained in classical Latin as a poetic and archaic variant of bellum. Bellicose entered English in the second half of the 15th century. Word of the day this morning, bellicose, B-E-L-L-I-C-O-S-E, is an adjective which means inclined or eager to fight, aggressively hostile, or belligerent. Yeah, that has been me a few times. Examples of the use of the word: I was always inappropriately dressed and inappropriately calibrated in tone. In one instance, I was too deferential; in another, too bellicose. Another example of the use of the word: although North Korea has often sounded bellicose, it has proved to be a shrewd strategist capable of judging when to throttle up the tensions and when to pull back on them. Word of the day, bellicose, B-E-L-L-I-C-O-S-E, an adjective which means inclined or eager to fight, aggressively hostile, or belligerent. Claim it, claim it. If you know you've been bellicose before, this is the time to claim it. Let's do this. Confession good for the soul. Yes. All right. And this morning, as you go about your marvelous Monday, thought for the day: if your path is more difficult, it's because your calling is higher. If your path is more difficult, it's because your calling is higher. God gives his toughest battles to the toughest soldiers. And if you're fighting harder than ever before, it's because your calling is higher. You have a greater height to go. You have greater things to accomplish. Nothing is easy. So if you're fighting hard, it's because you have a marvelous gift waiting for you at the end of that fight. So as you go about your marvelous Monday, if your path is more difficult, it's because your calling is higher. Let's see what's celebrated today. Not much. Today it is Amazon Prime Day. Amazon Prime Day is underway. Sometimes Christmas comes in July, at least holiday season sales do. When it's annual Prime Day, the 7th largest retailer in the world has marked out the middle of the year as its own personal mega shopping holiday, this year on July 13th. So those of you who are shoppers on Amazon Prime, look for the great deals that should be taking place today on Amazon Prime Day. I tell you, everything has a day. Today it is also French Fry Day. French Friday inside on that one. When it comes to the tastiest French fries on the planet, everyone seems to have an opinion. It's a time-consuming decision to find your favorite because no two restaurants seem to have the same recipe. So, on French Friday on July 13th, it is a great opportunity to take the time to sample some golden brown potato slices. It is French Friday. I think I know where I'm going to get the French fry. There is one recipe that seems to always have it when they use the right potato. I'm sure a lot of people know what I'm talking about, ain't it? Only know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they have various locations across the island. No free ad here. Don't try to tie me up. All right, let's see. Today, big up the men in maroon. West Indies won their first test against England, taking a lead in the series 1-0. They defeated England by 4 wickets. Big up the whole team. Yes, I'm a cricket fan, a West Indies fan. They frustrate me sometimes, but a dedicated, a loyal to a fault. So big them up. Man of the match, Shannon Gabriel, snagging, I believe it was 9 wickets. And yesterday's victory came via a mammoth 95 from Jermaine Blackwood. It was a total team effort. Congratulations to the Windies. The second test begins, I think, sometime this week. I'll have to double check the date. Either way, I'll be there. Yeah, big up the West Indies. And as we take the break to get ready for the news, just want to send some good luck, some positive vibrations to our Form 5 students across the nation and by extension across the Caribbean. CSEC examinations begin today, July 13th. It's tough times to be doing exams, but you got to do what you got to do. Settle down, take your time, do your very best, try your best. Positive vibrations. If you know a Form 5 student who is sitting exams this year, just reach out a hand and say that, include them in your prayers. Trust me, normal conditions, CSEC is big pressure. In 2020, where the year has been coconius, I could only imagine the pressure these children are under. So keep them in your prayers, send out your good lucks, give them an extra hug this morning. Parents, make sure they have all that they need to ensure that they can do their exams to the best of their ability. A good breakfast, a little snack, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, pencils, pens, sharpeners, paper, whatever else you may need. Just ensure that your children or your guardian, your charges are very well prepared for exams which begin today. So again, good luck vibrations to the CSEC students. Good luck in your exams that start today. All right, it's time for the news. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Good Morning Grenada on Classic, Hot, and GBN. Stick and stay. We will be right back.
On Thursday, the body of a man was found in St. Andrew. The John family of Ahoma believes their loved one may have plunged to his death. GBN's Christina John visited the scene and spoke with the relatives.
2 weeks shy of his 50th birthday, Hubbard John died in what is believed strange circumstances. While the John family awaits the results of an autopsy, they believe 49-year-old may have plunged to his death behind this bridge in Ahoma, St. Andrew. Hubbard, who was a builder by profession, was the 4th child of Veronica John. She recalls the moment she got the news.
They called me this morning and tell me he fall behind a bridge. When I go up, I see him behind the bridge. But he drink because the 2 bottles was on the ground with the rum. I see. Drink and he drunk. He lie down on the bridge and he get over. Nice, but I ask God to take control of my life. Okay. So I stand up and I face it.
She described her son as a handyman and very helpful.
He was getting disorderly, behaving, cussing, and he getting on real rough. If he don't drink, he's okay. But since he drink, he just want to fight. He getting on with people, and you know. This a building there you have put it.
Similarly, his sister Veron John, who was at work at the time, said this was not the kind of news she expected. I will miss him, she says.
He was miserable. When I tell him miserable, he was miserable. Only when he drink, he was miserable. But if he don't drink, you don't know if he there. He was a very nice person to me, because when I have me work to do, he will come and help me do what I have to do. And he says, sis, you don't have to pay me now. I just do that for because me and you good. I miss him because I have work to do, and he just come and give me the classes. I go miss him, to be honest. You come and say, sis, give me a bit of food and no girl, you know. I say, boy, you nice again. I say, boy, you don't stop in that, boy. He says, sis, don't watch that now. Yeah, I give him the food. He say, God go bless you, no girl. God go bless you. And he go, here, I'll miss you, but tell her I'll miss you.
The people of Guelph St. John were enraged on Sunday after the shooting of Jamal Charles. Angry residents in Guelph took to the streets demanding justice, but police intervention quickly quelled a potential standoff between police and residents. Cherry and Blackman-Stephen reports.
The people of Guelph St. John on Sunday took to the streets in anger after word spread that a villager identified as Jamal Charles was shot by police. Angry chants, placards, and pulling debris into the streets were part of the actions they took to vent their outrage.
No, we hear that. And the commissioner gave us some assurance. I have just given you some assurance.
Okay, so 12:30. We clearly with 12:30.
Yeah?
All right?
We're good.
People in the community called for justice for the young footballer. Head of Community Relations Department, Superintendent Vanny Cowan, was one of the lawmen on the scene attempting to calm residents.
So this is not about saying you don't have the right to demonstrate or to express your frustration. We understand that. But at the same time, we want to be able to bring some balance to it. So we have a nice conversation about getting the rule so that the rest of the Grenada could travel peacefully. It's your right to demonstrate, to respect that. There's nothing to do about that. Just make sure it's peaceful and nice and you express your frustration. We understand that.
Police have confirmed that an investigation has started into the shooting of Charles on Sunday. Cherry and Blackman-Stephen, GBN News.
Now, the facts about Sunday's shooting incident involving police are being questioned. Someone is not telling the truth. An attorney says the police used military-grade bullets in the shooting, but the police say that is not even remotely possible. A senior police official was questioned about the details on Wednesday.
As far as I know, is completely false. The RGPF does not have any hollow point ammunition in its inventory, and we have not had a practice or a tradition of using hollow point ammunition within our inventory. From my knowledge, and certainly from the evidence that has been presented, the ammunition used was a conventional warhead, as is established within our protocols that is used routinely for RGPF operations. So this is a complete falsehood, and I believe it is purely to direct or misinform the public in a particular direction.
That was Deputy Commissioner of Police Franklin Redhead as he addressed a news conference on Wednesday morning in response to claims by attorney Jerry Edwin that the police used a military-grade firearm during Sunday's shooting at Guelph. Attorney Jerry Edwin claimed in a press release issued just after midnight on Tuesday that a hollow-pointed bullet that is ordinarily used by military forces was used in Sunday's shooting. That claim was debunked by Deputy Commissioner Redhead, who made it clear that the upper echelon of the police force do not condone wrongdoing. He said he will be the first to challenge any police officer who acts out of character and in context of not fulfilling the obligation of being a true police professional by violating the public's trust. That being the case, however, he is not rushing to judgment.
But I would not, under any circumstances, throw any officer under the bus purely to fulfill the narrative that is circulating without rooted in evidence, without rooted in the truth. And certainly this is the course of action that the RGPF has taken consistently, and that is what is going to happen going forward relative to this investigation. We will investigate. We have promised to do so. We will do so fairly. We will send those results on to the Director of Public Prosecution for his assessment, and whenever the decision lies in terms of action, certainly with the RGPF will follow through in terms of its own obligation under the statutes.
Attorney Jerry Edwin called for an independent investigation.
Police should not investigate police. Let the DPP do that and suspend the officer. Give him his full pay. I am told that he's on administrative desk duty now. He's no longer doing investigations. That is a step in the right direction.
Deputy Commissioner Reddard has promised that this will be done.
The RGPF has promised an unbiased, fair investigation into the issue, and at the culmination of our investigation, our findings will be presented to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, which is an independent state authority to evaluate the veracity of what has been said or what has transpired. I would add that I would not further fuel the flames of the narrative that is out there in terms of looking at this issue from only a single perspective, but I will wait until the results of the investigation has been completed, certainly to provide clarity on this issue going forward.
The police will ask about concerns that the probe being conducted by the RGPF could be biased. However, they have assured that the findings would be sent to the Office of the Director of the Public Prosecution, which is an independent agency, and if the DPP is not satisfied, he has the authority to probe the matter further. Christina John, GBN News.
Commercial market vendors are infuriated after they were told by the St. George's Market manager on Wednesday that the entire market will be shut down for business from Thursday. The details in this report.
According to the irate vendors, no letters were issued, no prior meetings, no prior notice indicating the imminent shutdown. They want to know the reason for the closure.
The people are the children to buy books to send them back to school. The poor in the market. Because them people that we can't afford stores as them Indian take up all the stores in town. That way we are the seller and they want to put us out. Nah, man. They want them people stuff inside there to do is spoil. All them people selling all the candy and things. Them people think spoiling on them. You open up the market for them. Poor people.
You can see the vendors here. It's in a new area, brand new area, right? We pay tax, we pay rent, we do everything. We sell different to the Parisian vendors. The Premier Stadium, they put them there. That means farmers. Because they are for farmers, and we're not farmers. No. We are craft vendors. Yes. And we don't depend on only tourists to buy from us. A lot of Grenadians buy from us too. That's right. Right? And if the Chinese and Indian and them could open, we could open too.
I really like in the market here, right? Is we supposed to be opening here because we have your own key to turn, right? We, Jiggaman selling clothes, craft, we fix watches, right? Look at all the Indian stores that them open. Why we local cannot open?
Without reason, without understanding, they're saying to us that we need to close, and without any direction as to what time we will be able to open back and these things. So this is what's causing a lot of the uneasiness.
In an exclusive interview with GBN Tuesday, Parliamentary Representative for the town of St. George, Peter David, spoke of plans to refurbish the St. George's Market. He said the process has already started by the Ministry of Works. One businessman, Jiggaman as he is known, says there were no communication prior to today that the market will be closed. He says in the past 4 years, the market manager failed in his approach to meet with market vendors, and today was no different.
Today we was informed that the market square will be closed tomorrow until further notice for everyone. When we had a discussion with the market manager about why, all he tell us is that tomorrow the police is going to be in the market in full force to enforce that no place opens. And we didn't understand that because this This is a man that never, in almost 4 years, he never held a meeting, a general meeting with the vendors in the market.
So one of the main concerns for us, I believe, is communication, information. I think things happen in the market and we get to know about it 5 minutes before it happens.
In trying to find reason for the closure, businessmen say they were guided by the COVID-19 protocols.
Most people in the market, especially who open right now, basically operating based on the COVID updates. So when the government said that food vendors and stores could open, this is basically what happened. People who were selling food, people who were selling clothes, people who were operating watch and these functions operated just like everyone else.
They are still searching for answers. Attempts were made to speak with the market manager, Ignatius Mason, who told us he was busy and cannot speak without permission from the ministry. Christelina John, GBN News.
The Fort Judy couple involved in the Evan Smith case has issued a statement. They have sought to explain some of the circumstances surrounding the June 26th incident, which involved the killing of the family dog by a Mr. Evan Smith while on his way to work. In the video issued via social media on Thursday, two of the family members addressed certain aspects of what transpired. Mr. Donald Kavanagh admitted to confiscating Mr. Smith's keys from his vehicle.
I personally acknowledge removal of the vehicle key as an emotional response in ensuring that Mr. Smith remained on the scene until the police arrived, as verbal appeals up to that point had no effect. Our initial action to contact the police is based on the premise of lawful and peaceful resolution for what we felt to be a notifiable wrong.
In the 90-second video production, Mr. Donald Kavanagh and Sarah Houghton made no reference to the allegations regarding the alleged beating or inflicting wounds on Mr. Smith. Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Francis Martin has been appointed to Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health. Minister for Health Nicholas Steele was asked about the changes to his portfolio.
Is acting for the time being, yes. The current permanent secretary that was there, Charlton Henry, is on leave, and Dr. Martin is acting. It's a normal procedure within the public service that individuals, when they're on leave, vacation, etc., somebody else will act for them. When I leave the country as a minister, there would be somebody acting, and there's always be somebody filling.
When asked about the former position held by Dr. Martin as CMO, Minister Steele had this response.
Yes, he was. Remember, he was not officially appointed there because Dr. George Mitchell had just exited that position, retired last month. So Dr. Martin was acting to that period. Some of the period, Dr. Sean Charles was acting, and the public service has its procedures in terms of following to fill, whether it is through succession or so. It's a public service operation and not a ministerial.
In commemoration of CARICOM Day, celebrated on July 4th since 1973, members of a subcommittee of CARICOM, the Council for Foreign and Community Relations, COFCA, decided this year to recognize and reflect on the integration movement within CARICOM member states by a symbolic gesture, the CARICOM flag. COFCA came up with the idea to recognize the flag and have it flown on the diplomatic missions, embassies, and government buildings wherever members of the Caribbean community have their diplomatic missions. Grenada's ambassador to CARICOM, Ali Gill, says the occasion was timely as the Caribbean community strengthens its relationships.
This initiative of flying the CARICOM flag alongside the national flag is an initiative adopted by every CARICOM country, and as the chairman would have explained how it came about. Though that initiative is symbolic, it nevertheless deepens and strengthens Caribbean integration. In an era where we have observed in other organizations, members are leaving the organization, CARICOM, we are only strengthening and deepening our integration process.
Oliver Joseph, Minister for CARICOM Affairs, maintained the notion that Grenada is part of a wider community.
When we see the Grenada flag, I know as Grenadians, we are all very proud. I know when I travel anywhere I see Grenada flag, I want rushing to take a picture in the background, whether it's in Brussels, whether it's in Geneva, anywhere, because it gives you a sense of pride. And so too, the CARICOM flag must give us a sense of belonging, that we belong to a community called CARICOM, and that we should be very proud of our belonging to this integration movement.
Minister Joseph says Grenadians should view the new hoisted flag as an extension of our belonging to CARICOM. Now, Education Minister Emmeline Pear says more than half of the devices promised to secondary students are on island and will be distributed at a later date. Details in this report.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Kevin Andel, says 65% of the laptops and the tablets promised to the students and the teachers are already on island. Addressing Tuesday's press conference, Andel says the devices are mainly provided for students to engage in the e-learning process, which is the new norm due to COVID-19. He said the devices will be equipped with the necessary apps for students.
This is not only, we are not only having devices, but we're having enriched devices, if I should use that term, that has CXC-based e-books that are interactive. We already collected the data. We have to register every end user on the device and also on the mobile management system. We also have to register every ebook, and that in itself would take not a long period, but it would take us some time to do that. We want to do.
Teachers will also be able to manipulate and monitor the devices during classes to ensure every student is participating. When asked if parents should purchase textbooks, as they were told the devices will be equipped with e-books, Minister for Education Emmeline Pear gave this response.
There has been no instruction not to provide book lists. We expect that schools automatically, together with their report books, would attach those book lists. The Ministry of Education did not purchase additional books this year. And not just because of COVID and not just because of ebooks, a number of factors there resulting in that. And just to say that we will be circulating the books existing in the system. So I want to encourage parents, please secure those books for the date that your school asks you to return them. And of course, as they return, new students would be able to receive them. And this is what will happen for the school year 2020-2021. Linda.
For GBN News, I am Rina Pear reporting.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Lands on Tuesday convened the first in a series of town hall meetings engaging the cocoa and nutmeg farmers in St. Andrew in an effort to provide clarification on the move to amalgamate the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association and the Grenada Cocoa Association. We get the details in another report from Rina Pear.
Nothing might not be so wrong with the merger. I'm not so much against the merger. What I'm against is liberalization. I don't see everybody just taking the nutmeg and do what they want with it.
I would want us to look at other entities that have already merged and amalgamate and is actually successful. I think we must not be too doom and gloom and only look at the negative. It cannot be business as usual, right? It's unfortunate that we reach a stage here where we still have the crocus bag mentality and also the old question of back pay, back pay, back pay.
How is it going to be come to the owners, us farmers, owning the asset of those industries? I would want to see the asset coming to the farmers that belongs to us. We should have some eyes and some ears on the board to ensure that what is done in the interest of farmers.
Those were St. Andrew farmers expressing their views on the proposed merger of the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association and the Grenada Cocoa Association. More than 50 farmers attended the meeting hosted by the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands on Tuesday at the Grenville Secondary School. Minister of Agriculture and Lands, Yolande Bain Hosford, outlined what she sees as benefits of the proposed merger.
We thought it was important to meet with the farmers to offer clarity relative to the merger and liberalization of the market of GCNA and GCA, which will modernize the operation of our commodity boards, strengthen the institutional capacity and viability of the governance structure, and improve the global competitiveness of our traditional crops, thus placing farmers at the forefront of this industry.
Chair of the Merger Oversight Committee, Derek Charles, explores some of the key areas of the proposed merger.
We're going to look also at the governance of the board of the new body, whether or not what existed before and what we need in terms of the merger. We'll also look at the human resources, what has been there and what needs to be there for the merger. We have to look at the financial matters. What is the debt of the associations? What are the liabilities and things like that?
Business representative in the Senate, Christopher Diali, says the merger places farmers in a better position to benefit from the sector.
70% of our farmers know about nutmeg and cocoa farmers. All right? So it will add, the base for farmers will get bigger. What does that do? Size brings advantages to us. We could go and negotiate, for example, for an insurance for the nutmeg farmers. Because at the base, the premiums will automatically be less because we have a huge base.
The engagement with farmers continue on July 13th, Boca Secondary School, July 14th, St. Mark's Secondary School, July 15th, St. Patrick's Anglican School, and St. David at a venue to be announced. The meetings will commence at 4 p.m. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Grenville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us.
I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way, from birth to graduation, your first job to your home, and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and the programs including Financial Literacy Quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso Program, Junior Cooperatives in Secondary Schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC Grants. The credit union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
Whenever we're faced with difficulties, we find comfort in those we know and trust. This is especially true when a loved one has died.
Welcome to Otway Bailey Funeral Home.
For over 100 years, Otway Bailey Funeral Home has helped families celebrate the lives of their loved ones with compassion and dignity. Our affordability, attention to detail, warm and caring staff has contributed us being the funeral home of choice for official and state funerals. We treat you as we would treat our own family. All of our services are designed to help you get through one of the most personal and challenging stages of life, whether it's planning a funeral, joining our burial society, or pre-arrangements. You can be assured of the Otway Bailey commitment to consistently provide the most caring and professional service possible with the best options and price. So call us 440-2558 or visit our website, otwaybaileyfuneralhome.org.
At Otway Bailey, we offer the perfect tribute any family can afford.
The Esplanade Mall, something for everyone. Go on a shopping spree today and experience some magic. The Esplanade Mall, something for everyone. Go on a shopping spree today and experience some magic.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy.
To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal.
When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible. Let's all do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. Our health is our collective responsibility.
See it first on GBN. All the stories, from politics to industrial unrest. Tourism.
Light it up. Light it up. Nation to Grenada.
Entertainment. Sports and culture.
Great shot there of Anderson Peters from Grenada, the Commonwealth Games bronze medalist.
See more on GBN, your most credible source for information. Nightly at 7.
Greetings everyone. I hope this message meets you and yours in the best of health as we join in encouraging all to act responsibly.
COVID-19 presents the most serious
and deadly challenge any of us will experience in our lifetimes.
We must act now.
We need to keep the Caribbean safe. We can all help to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Please stay at home.
So Caribbean people, please stay home.
Caribbean people, please stay at home.
Please stay home. It's that simple. This too shall pass, but for now, stay home.
Stay in your yard. Stay home, stay safe.
Protect yourself and our community from COVID-19. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If soap and water are not available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with at least 70% alcohol. Use a tissue when blowing your nose, sneezing, or coughing. Immediately discard the tissue properly and wash or sanitize your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Let's do our part to ensure that each and every Grenadian remains healthy. To stay up to date, visit the Government of Grenada's webpage or the Ministry of Health's Facebook page. For more information, contact the Ministry of Health's hotline by calling 53-VIRUS. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada, 20 minutes after 7. It is Monday. You know what that means. It is Mouth Off Monday. Respectfully mouthing off on Mondays. This is your opportunity to speak your mind, respectfully speak your mind on issues that are taking place here locally, maybe regionally and internationally, depends. But we're going to stick to local for the time being. This morning, we are going to mouth off. Here's what's going on. Last week, Tuesday, effective last Tuesday, government announced the lifting of the curfew, which means we have freedom of movement 24/7. The first weekend since the curfew has been lifted, Grenada recorded 2 homicides. one in St. David on Friday night, another in St. Andrew on Saturday night. And then on Sunday, videos started circulating on social media of what can only be classified as a fete in Bathway St. Patrick, taking place yesterday, and there were, can I say it, hundreds of people? Let's say scores. You know what? No, hundreds from what I saw. Hundreds of people basically fetting in Bathway. So the question, what we're going to mouth off on this morning, 1, do you think the curfew should be replaced? Or 2, do you think that the sins of a few should not influence the repercussions for the many? Yes, Blossom, nice there. This. Listen, sometimes things just come out, okay? That's when the things just come out. All right, so we're going to respectfully mouth up this morning. Should curfew be replaced or should it stay as is? And the sins of the few should not influence the repercussions for the many. Respectfully mouth off 435-2041. That's the landline number. That's also the WhatsApp number. But please, only written messages on the WhatsApp. No voice or video calls, no voice notes, no videos, pictures, links. Only written messages on the WhatsApp. You can mouth off on the GBN Television Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Yes or no to replacing the curfew? First caller, good morning.
Blossom, good morning.
Good morning, Tanti. How you doing? How was the weekend?
You forget me, Blossom.
Yes, happy birthday, Tanti.
Today is my big birthday, Blossom. I'm 84 years today.
Happy 84? You do song 84?
Yes, and it should be in your request, but when I try to give the call, you're not getting to you.
Oh gosh, whole weekend, I forget already, but happy birthday, Tanti. Hope you're going to have a good day today.
I want to have a blessed day. When you tell me have a blessed day and all the good things come to me, because I always praying for you, for your health, and you pray for me for my health.
Thank you very much, Tanti. Yes, I wish you all the best today. Happy 84th.
Thank you.
All right. Happy birthday, Tanti. Miss Jacob last week Friday and here today, July borns. Big up all yourselves. All right, respectfully mouthing off. Yes or no to replacing the curfew? Good morning.
Yes, good morning, citizen.
Good morning, Citizen Rollo. How you do?
I'm quite all right by the grace of the Master. Listen, citizen, well, it's a very important and interesting conversation that you have stimulated here this morning, and I'd like to participate in this way.
Yes, please.
Only this morning on some international news, quite honestly, I can't remember which one of them, very on the wheels of them. A study was produced, seemingly by a prestigious university somewhere around the world. I think it's the UK, yes. That it has been proven, tested and proven, that the antibodies produced in those of the people that have recuperated from the effects of the virus have a limited stay in their body. Thus, there is a great possibility that these people be reinfected soon, again, or sometime in the future. No, this is a very powerful message to me. It tells me that this so-called, I retract that. This virus isn't going away soon, save and except with the intervention of some vaccine, which some people believe may assist in its curation and elimination. With this in mind, Citizen Welsh, I think it is wise that our people maintain and seriously maintain the protocols as established by WHO and our Ministry of Health here. The distancing, the physical human distancing, the covering of your mouth, your buccal and nasal passages, and all other things, the washing of the hands, etc. In other words, I believe, and apart from that, the quote-unquote jamming up that we like to jam up, and the party and the fetting and the irregularities, and you know the all whatnot that takes place as a young woman you ought to know. So I personally believe, in light of all this we're hearing, the fact that there are so many major outbreaks, take a look at what's happening in Florida today's news. In excess of 15,000 in one 24-hour period. This thing isn't going anywhere, Citizen Welsh. And therefore, I strongly believe, with other things that can be said about it, that the curfew, especially at night, to keep people inside. No, what it will do is just mitigate the jamming up, because we do jam up in a day too, but at least I think it should be reinstated. My view. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Will you, Citizen Welsh?
Thank you very much, Citizen Rollo. You do the same. I like the way you say jamming up. It speaks to it very well. That's what we do. Thank you very much, Citizen Rolo. Yes or no to replacing the curfew? Somebody on YouTube says, yes, I think the curfew should be replaced. What do you think? We've had 2 killings in a span of 24 hours and one fete, at least one fete that we know about. I'm calling it fete because there's no other way to describe the music and the alcohol drinking and the dancing and the jamming, according to Citizen Rolo, the jamming up that was taking place in Bathway yesterday. I saw footages. That's not a word, but we'll use it still. Let's do this. Do you think curfew should be replaced? Good morning.
Good morning, dear.
Good morning.
And I support Citizen Rolo to the fullest because we are overdoing it. When I say we are overdoing it bad. The police officers and all is moving it out mass. So please, let them put it back, please, and let the protocol be in place because people is not listening. Bless and have a good day, baby.
Thank you very much, caller. You do the same. Do you think curfew should be replaced? Caller, I note your concern about officers of the RGPF. Not all of them are adhering to the rules and regulations. Dare I say it, that I saw some officers of the law in Bathway yesterday in the fete off duty, but you're still an officer. I'm saying it. Beat me. There we go. Do you think curfew should be replaced? Yes or no? Good morning.
Morning, Bassa.
Good morning. How you do?
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, but the thing about this thing, is that okay? For how long? Even though the question is asked, right? But the thing about it is, even though we extended for the next 6 months. I just naming figures then. 2, 3, 4 months. At the end of the period of time, it will be the same thing. People have an attitude that we have to change. People have a mindset that has to change. How we go about changing that mindset, that mentality, I don't know. But it's an uphill task. So the thing about it is, whether we extend it for a year, 2 days, 5 weeks, 6 months, at the end of that period, it will be the same thing. So, we have our people have a certain mentality, a certain mindset that has to change, and I don't know. It's a difficult thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. It's a difficult thing. I agree. The jamming up will continue. Let me go to the social media. Somebody on Facebook says, no, because the curfew has nothing to do with crimes. It happens with or without curfew. Now, pertaining to the fete, I don't think the government will continue allowing them to practice such partying. With that said, our people should try and follow the COVID-19 protocol. Somebody else on Facebook says, killings will still take place, shutdown or no shutdown. WhatsApp checking it just now. Back to the phone lines. Yes or no to replacing the curfew following a tumultuous weekend? Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, how are you? I'm good.
I don't think it should be replaced, but the law should enforce measure and penalty very forceful upon those that break in the regulation. That is what happened. Many a times they come out and they be lenient with a lot of people breaking the rules and easing them up. They're not supposed to ease them up. Enforce the measure and the penalty upon them forcefully for breaking the law. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. I agree. Enforce what needs to be enforced. Yes or no to replacing the curfew in light of a busy weekend here in Grenada. Somebody on WhatsApp. Yes, the curfew should be replaced because other than the chopping incident in Grenville, that same night another chopping incident in Telescope, I was a little happy for free movement, but the government should put it back. Somebody else on WhatsApp simply says, yes. Another WhatsApper, yes, it should extend. Reinstated rather than it replaced. Okay, fair enough, thank you. Put back the curfew. There was a party in my village going on long into the night with the music very loud. I can't handle that. Which community do you reside in, WhatsApper? Back to the phone line. Good morning.
Good morning, my sister.
Mom.
Good morning, Miss Jacob. How you do?
I all right for the time being.
All right, you had a good birthday weekend.
Not a nice birthday weekend, and I want to say happy birthday to my auntie.
Thank you so much. I'll take it on her behalf. So what do you think, Miss Jacob? Should the curfew be reinstated?
Yes. Put it back. It could be for 10 years. It could be for 40 years. But it will still happen. This kind of youth that really know. This kind of people that really know. It's not a long time, people. As what the brother say before that color. The brother took a book. You could put it as far as what I see. That, what do you call it? 19, that colony, I cannot announce what good. That going for 2024 past 25 is a kind of a thing that going wrong. And the Bible tell you, in time to come, you go see sign and wonders, and we don't start to see the sign and wonders yet. Auntie. It don't easy outside. I must listen to the BBC News. Listen to the BBC News and Grenada. GBN does have it from 10 to 5 in the morning. Listen to it and you go follow it up. But Sister Brass, I'm getting good now. What about my mommy?
Mommy is good.
Tell mommy, girl, I enjoy a wonderful body, and thanks for who give me the praise, and thanks for who send and I get a nice chocolate cake and just
Go on, fat on your cake, Mama. Have a good day. Bye-bye, Miss Jacob.
Okay, bye-bye, sweetheart. Love you. Bye-bye.
Love. I'm passing for a piece of cake, Miss Jacob. All right, we are respectfully mouthing off this morning. So far, so good. What do you think? Should the curfew be reinstated following a busy weekend here in the Isle of Spice? 2 killings. Somebody else just spoke of another chopping incident in Telescope over the weekend, and a fete in Bathway yesterday. Yes or no to reinstating the curfew? Somebody on YouTube says, people don't see the brunt of COVID in Grenada and Carriacou. That's why they're so lackadaisical. Somebody else says, someone commented last week saying the virus is raging in Canada. That's not true. I live in Toronto. Our borders are close to the U.S. and we haven't got many cases. Fair enough, writer. Somebody else on WhatsApp. Facebook says, bring it back. Bring it back. Let me see what's cooking on WhatsApp. A WhatsApper says, I respect your question. Hold on, wait. Let me start from the top. My main concern is about the opening of churches. I respect your question, but nothing is said about the opening of churches up to this time. Some churches are still closed. Writer, if there are churches still closed, it's because the churches themselves have chosen not to reopen yet. That's not for the authorities. The okay was given for churches to reopen once they have the protocols in place. So if they have not opened yet, is their personal or individual choices. My church personally it was about a month after the government announced that churches could reopen because they wanted to ensure everything was in place before they reopened on the first Sunday this month. That's the Grandans Baptist. So if churches have not opened yet, it's not because of the authorities, it's because of the churches themselves. Back to the phone line. Yes or no to reinstating the curfew? Good morning.
Morning, greetings, Blossom.
Good morning, greetings.
Yeah, well, this curfew business, right about not really the curfew, but the corona. Now, I think our mind is possessed by this thing, and because of that, if it comes, as Ms. Jacob said just now, for the next 2-3 years, are we going to stay locked inside under a curfew? Now, we are people who shouldn't be painted with the same brush. What is going on in the world? As I say, when sickness comes, who have to get sick, gonna get sick because carefulness comes through discipline. And if our people are disciplined, we are going to discipline the way we function, knowing that it's a wrong, whether it didn't affect us in the holistic way, but at least freedom have to come from the mind, and we're doing that by disciplining ourselves. Whether the curfew on or not, we have to discipline ourselves to able to balance against the mindset of this thing, because I think more people are polluted by the mindset, because we learn is a deadly thing, which death is inevitable, but we have to live with it, whether they have a time factor to get rid of it or to pull it back, or whether none can touch it, because as I say already, our ancestors pulling the strings. Our people must come and get comfortable with this thing. In the mind, around us, in the world, we cannot put ourselves below the bed. We're going to end up like filth inside the pail stay for weeks and months. Give our people our freedom, show them discipline, teach them discipline, and let's live to function for the next century. Give thanks, my sister. Bless love.
Give thanks. Thank you very much for participating. Let's take a break, pay some bills, and then we're going to come back inside with the discussion. Think about it still. Yes or no to reinstating the curfew following a busy weekend here in Grenada. This is Good Morning Grenada on Classic GBN and Hot 98. We will be right back.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Total is one of the world's largest oil companies with a top quality line of lubricants. Total Lubricants has a full product line from passenger cars, motorcycle, heavy industrial equipment, mining, trucking, agriculture, and manufacturing machines and vehicles. Total Lubricants, winning championships in motorsports, including Formula One and World Rally Championships. Total Lubricants are available at all Rubis service stations, leading automotive shops, and distributed by Huggins.
Francis Urias Peters. To really know who I am, you must look at the plays that I've written.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. It's Mouth Off Monday here on the program. This morning we are talking about if we should reinstate the curfew here in Grenada. Over the weekend we had 2 fatal chopping incidents, one in St. David on Friday night, another in St. Andrew on Saturday night. Then yesterday in Bathway, St. Patrick, there was basically a fete happening. So in light of these things taking place, do you think the curfew should be reinstated? Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Blossom.
Good morning.
Everything all right?
Yeah, man, everything cool.
All right, listen, I take in a different view. And the view I take in is that the curfew, I don't think these incidents have anything to do with the curfew. And I'm going to give it reason, if it permits me. The chopping and the incidents that happens, what time of the day or what time of the night did these things happen? I think we should look at it in a more deeper context. First and foremost, what we have to remember, Grenada has been shut down for quite a few months now, and people have not been able to socialize in any aspect as they are accustomed. Secondly, there's a lot of people right now who lost their jobs, who don't have no money to spend, who has no food to put on the table. Whether we like it or not, that is actually happening in Grenada right now. And when you then allow people to socialize or to go back out, no, first and foremost, we don't have, I don't know if the Ministry of Social Services, if they have done anything in the sense of before when they're ready to let people start going backward after being locked down for these months. Did they have any communication where they come out and advise people, talk to people, give them advice and as to how they should carry on? Because remember, people, you lock down people and people now are now trying to get back to the norm, which I don't think will ever come back. But here we have a situation where people now start to talk, they start a communication. Even on a normal basis, some people just cannot communicate with each other because they have so much on their mind. So I believe at the end of the day, we have to look at it based on your question. I honestly don't think the curfew has anything to do with it. I believe is lack of communication with the people, lack of coming out and trying to get people to understand and realize what the situation here is like, and get people to get together in some way, in that they can sort of ease the burden in all aspects. Because when people are hungry and people don't have money to spend, they don't have a job to go to, that is a recipe for disaster. So I believe at the end of the day, social service need to get in and interviews or points where people must need to be a bit more communicative and not being aggressive. And in Grenada right now, we're going on like a bullet when people are becoming very selfish with each other. Okay. They don't want to talk to each other. They don't want to hear anything from each other.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Both incidents, both fatal choppings took place at approximately 10 p.m. Friday night and Saturday night, which should be times in previous curfews when everybody should be in their homes. In relation to the Ministry of Social Development reaching out even before the curfew was lifted, during complete lockdown, the ministry has been offering counseling services. They have issued telephone numbers for their hotline number in case you'd want to reach out for somebody to speak with or somebody that you think you need counseling. You can reach out to the numbers. You would appreciate with 110,000 people, there's only so much individual reaching out they can do. So if you feel like you need assistance, that's why they offered the hotline number, so you can reach out to them if you need those services. So 10 p.m. and ministry has provided hotline numbers. All right, let's go back to the social media. Somebody on YouTube says, I believe they should bring back the curfew. These young people too unruly. Chopping cannot solve problems. Jesus Christ could solve every problem. Somebody else on YouTube says, these tools they're using to kill people should be used for agricultural purposes. These people's minds are in a different place. Let me go through the WhatsApp. Somebody says, yes, put it back. I saw a party in Woodlands and Grandance Valley. Yeah, everybody fit in. Good morning. Yes, curfew should be back in effect. It should never have been lifted. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, yes, please, we must maintain protocol. We need penalties. Somebody simply says, yes. Another WhatsApper. People need a break to a certain extent, but we behave like we only have a short period to get on. Curfew helped to protect all. So yes, put it back. Somebody else on WhatsApp. Yes, reintroduce the curfew because they bleep too hard. That would be tough love. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the person that said there was a party in their village going on long into the night with the music loud, that was in River Sally, St. Patrick. St. Patrick have it? I would say no. While we had the curfew, how much murders we had? Extending the curfew because of the weekend shouldn't be an option. So because of a killing, we're going to say lockdown forever. At some time, we must come out from the lockdown. 2 killings. Just a slight correction. Morning, based on what I saw from Bathway yesterday, tell me our people not serious. None of the protocols were observed, and God forbid if anyone in yesterday's session had the virus, we are in trouble. Where was the SSU or police to disperse the crowd and stop the music and jamming up? I saw. A bit disappointing the law officers did not act. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, keep our borders closed and let the people fet. The economy needs to be stimulated by something other than tourism. Our leaders need to take Grenada's uniqueness into account and make decisions accordingly. We are a COVID-free country. Let us operate as such. Back to the telephone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I hope I understand the question. Replaced by what? Anyhow, that's my comment. If I were to make a comment, as far as I'm concerned, even those people who have the right, who has been given the right, or who have the right to put things into the right perspective. For example, some of the policemen, they were not doing their duty as I look at it, because they were speaking to ladies, to men, to groups in the audience who do not have the mouthpiece, as I said, the mask. So then, if I were in charge, I don't know how I would have done with them, because they have been placed for people to help people to obey instructions. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, we in Grenada, or should I say some of us, we do not understand numbers. Because when we hear about 100 and something thousand people die in one state, that means we're weak in understanding numbers. We only have 100 and something thousand people. Yet for all, not me, I usually complain. We are complaining the hospital is no good, there's no medicine, no this and no that. Tell me something, our economy is bad. Where are we going to get the money to beef up the hospital if nearly the whole of the population, or 10,000 people in Grenada, caught the virus? It's time that we, as this man last said, we in Grenada, we cannot be educated. You have to take a book and put it down, cut the skull and put it down with writing in the head. They do not understand. Everybody commenting about how the virus take. Is this that make it? Is who that make it? They think that they know better than the scientists. The scientists telling them, but they're telling you what make it, how it come, and how it could be spread. It is because we do not understand. For me, I don't know if you want to die or other people are. I'm living a nice life. I don't want to die. Even if I have problem for money, I like my life. As far as I'm concerned, these people in Grenada, they need to be treated, not to beat them or to shoot them. We need money. Collect a lot of $500 or $750 or $1,000. This would put money in the pocket of the government.
Okay.
So, and that's what we don't understand. As soon as you start getting a few of them, you will see things changes.
All right.
The police and them are making jokes.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you for your contribution. Yes or no to reinstating the curfew? Do you think it should be reinstated because of weekend happenings, or do you think the sins of a few should not influence the repercussions for the many? Let me check the YouTube. YouTube says that is not an excuse because Grenadians don't go with the rules. It had a party from Friday into Saturday morning in Guave, St. John. I couldn't sleep. Somebody else on YouTube says they should have a curfew globally. Somebody go off, people always party and put back the curfew. Another YouTuber, it's all about the mindset. Young people like party, that's what they do. Let me see what's on Facebook. Somebody says, true, Ras, why ask the government to take away some of your freedom for a few bad folks? Another Facebooker, I don't believe COVID-19 had anything to do with the two incidents that occurred. It's all up close and personal situations. Somebody else says, I feel all this situation going on was set off by the shooting of the young athlete from Guave. I really believe it set the pace. And another Facebooker says, poor curfew. I like it. Poor curfew. It's the negative mindset of uncaring and ill-disciplined adults. WhatsApp says, Ms. Jacob, there was always wayward people, not only youths of today that are wayward. Everybody that wants the curfew to be reinstated could stay in their house 24/7 if you don't need somebody to tell you what to do. You want curfew? Govern yourself. Point. Because I wasn't in Batway. Point. Yes, they should put back the curfew. All police officers breaking the law should and must be charged just like civilians. They are not above the law. And to be in that huge, massive party at Batway yesterday into last night, they have no excuse for partying with revelers, breaking the law, disobeying protocols, and not dispersing the crowd. Let's hear and see what the hierarchy of the force will do and say with their usual excuses. But we are not taking their excuses no more. What good for one, good for all. Another WhatsApper says, I think the commissioner should do an investigation as to the police officers who were involved in the Batway Beach fete and let them know that they are not above the law and deal with them accordingly. So I think it should be reinstated. He doesn't really have to investigate far, just watch some of the footage. I'm just saying. Somebody else on WhatsApp, I think they lifted the curfew too quickly. Aren't we expecting passengers from Wednesday? I believe the lifting of the curfew was a big mistake. Bring it back. Grenadians becoming very complacent. We need more police presence and all police officers breaking the law should be fired and fined as well. The next time around, someone may have to die in order for us to start complying again. Bring it back now. We're weighing in this morning. Let me play a sizzler in the back there. All right, we're weighing in this morning, mouthing up this morning. Yes or no to the reinstating the curfew. Somebody else says, I don't think the curfew has to go back. People have to exercise self-control. Adhere to the protocol. Wearing the face mask protects you and the people around you. We don't know everything about COVID. So for all our safety, keep to the protocol. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you have any children calling?
Say that again?
Do you have any children calling?
If we have children calling, if a child wants to say something, that's fine.
Okay.
So you want to say something?
Well, what was the question?
Do you think they should put back the curfew?
Yes.
Why?
Because more killing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. If there are children who would like to let their voices be heard, that's fine. I accept that with mommy or daddy's permission, please, though. But yes, I welcome it. Back to the phone line. Good morning.
Hi, morning, my wonderful lady.
Morning.
I listened to you last time from Columbia University. That the scientist, doctor, said that COVID-19 is a multi-something virus disease in any case. It causes another problem in your body besides the immune system, giving you blood clot and then make you diabetes, sugar and all in your body and all in any case too. There are really a problem with that virus, so I see going right now. Now the curfew in Grenada in any case is going to give price up in any case, and but going up in the discipline. You can't discipline black people easy. Black people have to discipline, how to tame them, how to tame black people. We stubborn to deal with it. Easy to tame black people on the street. We stubborn and we discipline order. You can't tame us easy. It's hard.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, caller. I like that. We had to discipline. We had harder. That's true. Let me see what's on the social media. YouTuber says, where there is no God, there is no peace. We have a mind of our own, and the decision we make, we have to live with it. This is adults, not children. May the Lord have mercy on us. Another YouTuber says, it is impossible to remain a COVID-free country. This virus is not leaving us soon. If it mutates, there will never be a vaccine. Just live your life and learn good hygiene and listen to the authorities. Somebody on Facebook says, when I heard that police officers were part of the melee at Batway and should know better about the social distancing and wearing of masks, and by the way, it was not the same officers who should be giving people a fine for not wearing the face mask, I think the commissioner should look into that and discipline the officers who were part of the Batway melee. Back on WhatsApp, to me, I find that the curfew should be replaced, especially for the nighttime. Grenada has a slavery mentality. You decide to give them a little free time, and look what's happening. Looks like they like being in prison. Man going back in, not coming out certain time. Somebody else says, no, this will not assist the situation. People must learn to be tolerant with one another. Also, our culture, do we always have a massa overhead to keep doing the right thing? Let's see, two more WhatsApp comments. Let's see. Correlation does not imply causation. There was also a chopping during the most stringent lockdown. If rain falls and somebody drowns that day, would we say the reason drowned them? Would we say the rain drowned them? In as much as I understand the issue with a FET based on the information given by the authorities, that is us being COVID-free, our borders opening, etc., the behavior of our people is also understandable. And our final WhatsApp comment before we go to the break. It don't make sense going back. Implement strategies. Oh, final comment. The curfew didn't help me, just facilitated thievery. Thank you guys so much for participating on this morning's Mouth Off Monday. You kept it respectful, and I appreciate your participation. Thank you guys so much. Continue to stay safe. Continue to use your words. Use your words. Like one of the callers says, our communication skills need help. Do what you need to communicate verbally, not physically or violently. Use your words. Have yourselves a productive Monday. Stick and stay. This is Classic GBN Hot 98. It is time to join the BBC for the 8 a.m. newscast. Have yourselves a good day. Looking back for Matune. Right, that's it. Bye-bye, folks.